Okay, y'all, my quick thoughts on Night of Champions. I'ma give this pay-per-view Night of Champions, I'ma give it a B. I'ma give it a B. And this is just gonna be my quick thoughts. I'm gonna kind of, make a longer video for those who want the longer videos, because I realized that, I still want to get my longer videos out there. But just quick thoughts. Cody Rhodes versus Randy Orton. It was a okay match. The only thing I didn't like, Randy Orton played into the back injury, okay? You play into the back injury. Now, you take the turnbuckle off, right? And then Cody pushes you into it. It hits your side. And then he does his finishing move and then pins you 1, 2, 3. That's fine with me. Look, that's fine. But if you played into the back injury and y'all went for this spot, why not have Cody sling you into the turnbuckle and you hit your back on it and then, get the 3 off of the finishing move that way? Like, some of the stuff y'all do don't make sense, okay? You expose the top turnbuckle, you hit your side on it, but your side wasn't the thing that was giving you problems. It was your back. It just doesn't make sense. The stuff y'all be doing sometimes, WWE. Like, it don't be making sense. But, I wouldn't have a problem with Cody winning if it wasn't for the way he won. Like, he played into a back. That's like me playing into a back injury, working the back on somebody, and then do a Russian leg sweep and win. Like, it just doesn't make sense. Okay? Then, I'm not going in order, but Asuka losing, Jade Cargill winning, we already kind of known this, but we expected this to be a botchy mess. And I'm surprised it wasn't botchy. And it didn't really have hiccups. I knew Asuka was going to take care of Jade Cargill because Asuka is like a Bailey. She's a veteran and a world-class wrestler. And man, Asuka made Jade look good. And honestly, Jade made Asuka look good. Asuka was getting the best of Jade pretty much the whole match. But it wasn't enough to finish her. I wish Asuka would bring back the green mist or the blue mist. She had different colors at points in time. But I wish Asuka would have brought that back. And let me just say, their attire was fire. The attire was fire. Jade had the best attire probably of 2025. I love Naomi Crash Out, caution gear. But this right here was some WrestleMania-esque type attire. Next I'm going to go to Sami Zayn versus, what's his name? Karrion Kross. Y'all wanted Karrion Kross. Y'all got Karrion Kross. This match proved, Karrion Kross is okay in my opinion, but I hated the finish of this match. I hated the finish. Karrion Kross, if this was a Raw match, Karrion Kross would have went over. Since they in Saudi, Sami Zayn had to win. That's all I'm going to say on that. Rhea Ripley match, perfect. This was a street fight. Nobody bled, but, that's fine. WWE moving in a different direction. This was a great match. This was a great match. I don't know what else to say. This was a great match. I'll get more into it on the deeper review. Rhea Ripley versus Raquel street fight, it was fine. And Jacob versus Solo, great match. Honestly, one of the it's hard for me to give something an A+, but in this area, I'm going to give this match a B+ to A. Depending on who you are, you might say it's an A. I'm going to give it a B+. It had everything. Tama Tonga came back, interfered. Then the other guy, man, what's his name, bruh? I think he kin to the Tongans as well. But he came back, interfered, and bruh, they had to do it. What's the dude? Bruh, I really can't think of what's his name. A surprise. I don't know if they named him yet. I think they did name him. It's not Solo, but he one of the cousins. And even though he interfered, JC Mateo couldn't really keep up with Fatu, but they did their thing. But that match was good. Shout out to Solo. He the new United States champion. And last but not least, Cody Rhodes, not Cody Rhodes, John Cena versus Punk. John Cena, he won, and we all knew it, but I love the way they did it. Seth was going to cash in. They interfered. Cena and Punk, honestly, I want to see a Cena and Punk versus, what's his name? Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed. I want to see that. Honestly, it could be handicapped. I would love to see, you could throw Seth Rollins in there, but he gonna try to cash in. But the best part was when the ref came down running and John Cena just straight up hit stick them like off Madden. Boom! Knocked that ref out. You know what I'm saying? But that was an A+ match. I ain't gonna lie. I'll give that an A+ match. Man, overall, this pay-per-view was B+ to A. This is how the PLE should go. And, we thought Night of Champions wasn't gonna go hard, but honestly, I don't think I'm gonna do a SmackDown review, but the SmackDown leading up to this was almost like a pre-show for Saudi Arabia. I would have loved to see Julia win her match on Night of Champions, but that wasn't a Night of Champion-ish match. I would have loved to see Street Profits, actually fight the Wide Six with no interference on Night of Champions, but, what they did on SmackDown was fine enough. But I'm keeping this video to 8 minutes. I will do a longer Night of Champions review, but man, shout out to everybody who made this match possible. Night of Champions was great. Night of Champions was great. Commercials was minimum. The ring looked nice. The stage, the Tantron was fire. Everybody entrance was fire. John Cena is crazy for his entrance, but everybody entrance was fire. I love that Tantron. I mean, honestly, this was better than WrestleMania's Titantron. Shout out to that. This video getting too long. Y'all don't be watching my long videos. Run this up. Like, comment, subscribe. I'm going to hear y'all thoughts. Who had the best entrance at Night of Champions? Put that in the comment section. Peace.